Hey guys, it's JR from GT Motor Cars, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite cars of all time, the C2 Corvette. The C2 Corvette was one of the most evolutionary Corvettes of all time. It pretty much saved the brand. As troops were coming home from the war and they were buying Jaguars, Chevrolet leaned on Zorarkers, Duntoff, and Bill Mitchell to change the way the Corvette was viewed and make it a true American sports car. The C2 Corvette was penned off of Bill Mitchell and Larry Shinoda's design off the Stingray Racer in the Mako Shark. First year in 1963 had the most iconic car design with a split window. The C2 ran until 1967. The C3 was supposed to be debuted in 1967, but it was running late, so they continued the C2 generation, also known as the mid-year, C2 meaning the second generation of Corvette, and to be one of the most iconic car designs in American history. A decade ago, Automobile Magazine did a survey of the top 100 sexiest car designs. Number one was the C2 Corvette, and they said it best. Like James Dean, Jimmy Clark, and JFK, mid-year Corvettes left the scene at the peak of their game. So 1967 was the last year of the C2. It was supposed to be the first year of the C3, but the C3 was running into delays, so they had to continue the C2 body style for one more year. It turned out to be one of the most exciting years for the C2, Mark. As 1967, they cleaned up the design, they added engine options, and it's one of the most sought-after Corvettes. They cleaned up the design, they removed the side emblems, they removed the hood emblem. It has side gills reminiscent of the 300 SL Mercedes, one of the most sexiest cars of all time. They removed the vents behind the doors on the B-pillar. They really cleaned up the car. They added a Stinger hood, the only year for a different color on the Stinger hood. They had a total of 7 engine options in 1967, 2 327 cubic inch options, and 5 427 cubic inch engine options, ranging from 390 horsepower all the way up to an excess of 550 horsepower with the almighty L88. The 427 435 is one of the most sought after big blocks. 427 cubic inches, 435 horsepower, solid lifter cam, 3 2-barrel Holley carburetors, and just raw power. Rated at 435 horsepower, but in excess of over 450 horsepower, just for insurance purposes. This 1967 Corvette we're going to talk about today is a very rare 67 Corvette. 3 owners from new, in rare Tuxedo black, 28,000 original miles, fully documented by its original tank sticker and protecto plate, and we completed a full frame-off restoration. The Corvette world was way ahead of the rest of the car collector world when it comes to judging by decades. You know, when Corvettes are judged, they're judged on how they rolled off the assembly line at the factory. If a car was green, it has to be restored to green to get judged. And on Corvettes, there's a trim tag that tells you the build date, the color options, and then to go further, Corvettes have extra documentation. In 67, they started putting tank stickers on the cars, which is helpful to a historian, to a restorer, to a collector, as it would tell you what options the car was born with. And this car is really rare because it has the tank sticker and it has the protecto plate, which was the warranty book that was assigned to the dealership that sold the car. And this car has both, and they're also documented. We acquired this car back in 2017. We bought it from the third owner, who owned it since 1988. It sat in their collection. We bought their entire Corvette collection out, this car being one of them. This is one of 24 known Tuxedo black 435 Corvette Coupes. And it's really rare because it is documented. It is all original. It's fully restored and it's judged. Amazing cars to drive. This car drives unbelievable. This engine is pumping out 480 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. So we'll have to take this car out for a drive, but when you drive this car, it's unbelievable. It throws you back in the seat, especially as you're driving on original style bias ply tires. So when you're looking for an ultimate Corvette collection, you want to have a 63 Corvette Coupe with a split window and a 67 big block that's documented. This here is one of the holy grails of a C2 Corvette and one of the holy grails of a 67 big block.